The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Okay, folks, Larry Pesavento setting in for Basil Chapman. I really enjoyed watching Tommy do that stuff with the videos. I'm aware of that because I see some of it with Sarah's grandkids, and they really are talented to do it. But it is a world that's changing. There's no question about it. But the markets are not going to change very much. Now, this is the Dow Jones. There's where we were on Friday. We were down 700 points right near the close, if you remember. It closed right on its low. And then, of course, it rallies starting Sunday night, and you can see here it pulled right back here on the early Sunday night, and then we had a move up exactly to the 382, and if we the thing that's really important, folks, from my perspective, looking at numbers, you see this number, there's 1.618 expansion. That's the daily expansion number, 42514, and the high so far in the Dow Jones is 42515. 1 point away from the exact 618, and it's already broken 150 points. So that's a sign that we probably are starting to roll over a little bit. But again, that's a probability and not a certainty. We've got NVIDIA earnings today. I'm not a stock person, but I know the whole world is looking at that. So we'll take a look at NVIDIA earnings. The option prices are through the roof. I checked those this morning with my friend John Jameson, and they're not giving anything away. I mean, they're building in things that are just really, really difficult to make any serious money. Let's get the half hour up, and I think it's probably up again today. Yeah, everybody's expecting something really big, and we'll just move it over a little bit here. You can see here we've this is the 28th, and we've already gapped up from the high that we were right back in here. And then you'll see where we are right there. We did go a little above the 786. Now we're backing off a little bit. There's nothing to see here that's too dramatic. The one that we were most interested in on the groups that on my future stuff is we've been following the gold market, and we've been quite fortunate. Let's get this gold up, because all these charts look alike, folks. The difference is they put different names on them. One was NVIDIA, the other was gold. Now this is just yesterday. Today, last night on the video, I said look for a 382 retracement with an ABCD, and it went right up to it. It made the ABCD right at the 50% retracement and broke down, and it made an ABCD retracement to the downside. And if you're just trading it short term, remember this is a $300,000 contract, folks, so you got a lot of volatility here, and you can see here from your high to the low to the high, stopped right at the number, so this was the place to cover it, and then you wait and see for the next ABCD pattern, and you've locked in a profit, and you started your day out the way you'd like to see it to do. It doesn't always work that way. Let me show you what I thought would be my favorite trade of the day, and this would have been in the Treasury bonds. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. This is the hourly chart on Treasury bonds, and you see I wanted to sell it here at 113.13. That would have been a perfect ABCD. It would have been the first really good ABCD pattern, really clear one, for about almost a month. You don't see very many. There's a little tiny one right here. There's not one right here. There's not one right here. So this one's really difficult to see. So this was the really clearest one to sell it up here. Now, we might still get here. It might be tomorrow. But that's one that I had set up as what I thought would be a possible trade of the day today. But it just didn't quite, get to that level that I was looking for. And that happens all day long, folks. When I'm sitting here in the morning, I set up trades that I think look pretty interesting. And then I, get ready to put the orders in and see how the market reacts to it. I don't like to trade right exactly at the open. I'll trade after the open so that you can see the opening volatility come in. And as I told many times, the opening price is the key price of the day, so you have to factor that in when you're trading. It's better if you're trading stock index futures to wait till the first half hour is over, because you get this tremendous volatility. Perfect example of that was today here in the E-mini S&P. Let's move this out of the way, and I'll show you the answer behind this. And there you'll see last night, you can see we had a there was our low yesterday. Okay, and the market came up. I don't even know if it made a 382 here last night, but let's just double check it, see if we did. Well, it missed it by about 5 points. It missed the 382 by 5 points, and then we had this big run up, and this was the early morning bust when all the orders start coming in, and you can see there it is right there. Boom, it's big. That's all that is short covering, and then it starts down. And we'll find out where it's going to go from here. But now we've reversed, and now, let's just look at this from a trading standpoint. If we were looking at this for a place to trade, all right, what you want to do now is, this is an 8-minute chart, so give it a little time and see if you get a little counter trend trade like this that maybe comes right back to the 382, because we have a strong trending market now. I don't know where the bottom is going to be here, but we'll look at it some during this hour, and then also the hour that I'm on, and we'll find if we get a little ABCD right up into a 382, gives you a very low risk entry. And that's the reason behind these, is to try to get the lowest entry that you can possibly can. Now, if you remember yesterday when we were on the show here, I said we ought to be looking to buy some wheat here. We were going to be buying the it was March wheat, excuse me. It was July wheat that we were buying. Hold on one second. 429. It went up a little bit. Here, let me get the 30-minute up, and you'll be able to see it. Okay, there we bought it at 429. If you remember, our stop was 424. Now, it rallied. It rallied last night. Keep your stop working at 424, by the way, folks. But there it is right now. There's where we were buying it here at 429. It got down to 427 was the lowest. Our stop was 424. It did get as high as 436 last night, and it didn't do very much. Let's just look and see. Where'd it go to? Yeah, it went exactly to the 382. Now it's end right here. And, I still like this on a longer term basis, but, it's not acting as well as you'd like to see it act. So I would think I'd probably, if I was in this, put your stop at break even, put it at 529, a penny away from where it is right now. And that way, you break even on the trade. That's pretty much the one I would be watching if I were watching this here this morning. So that's how I handle the trades, folks, because each time I look at these things, I see it a little bit differently because of the overnight trading and stuff. What Tommy was showing you, what little Tommy was doing with those videos, I mean, this is just unbelievable what artificial intelligence does now. It's just totally amazing. And this is just the beginning of it. When this first started, in effect, many years ago, 3 years ago when the chat BT and all that stuff was just coming out, John Jameson said how it was going to change professions. And he said the two biggest professions that would be affected would be the writing and entertainment industry, and then also the attorneys, because they can put everything into a file, ask a question, and then come right back with your answer without having to worry what the attorney's doing or anything like that. So this is big stuff that's happening. It's going to happen in the markets too, but this is what we're watching right now. None of this is going to change because this is human nature. I really believe that 100%. I've looked at too many charts over 62 years, so it ain't going to change. All right, let's take a little break here. We'll come right back. 877-927-6648.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, Larry Pesavento for Basil Chapman. Since we're talking about artificial intelligence and stuff, there's a lot of different things. There's fuzzy logic, neural networks, and things like that. I don't know all of them, but back in 1990, we ran into a gentleman named Dennis Regan, and he was doing some of this kind of stuff. And what I would do is I'd get a picture of what he thought was going to happen with the. He did three things. He did the S&P, and he did British pound, and he did British pound and the crude oil. That's basically what he was looking at. He specialized in the British pound and the S&P. The S&P was trading $500 a handle, not $50 a handle. And anyway, that's what we were watching. So every morning, he would send me how it all started was one day he sent me a picture of what we thought the S&P was going to do for the day. Steve Shapiro sent it to me, and then I looked at it, and it worked really good. And so at the end of the day, I called him back, and I said, "Hey, Dennis," I said, I never met you before. I said, "But this was really good." I said, I just closed out a trade. It was about 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'd made about 4 points in the S&P. And that was at $500 a point. That'd be equivalent to 50 points nowadays. But it was trading, I forget. I think it was trading 190 or something like that. But anyway, what happened was I told him I took a nice profit, and he said, "You don't even deserve to be in this business, and you don't know nothing about trading." He said some expletives that we can't say here, and I said, "Thank you very much." And I called Steve back. I said, "Steve, don't send me anything else." I said, "This guy's a wacko. He might know something, but I said, I don't want to get involved with anybody like this." Well, Steve continued to go on with it, and basically it turned out to be okay because we got Jimmy Elder involved, and it worked out all right. But here's what our picture looks like today in the S&P. I want to get this up here and show you. Okay, there's where we were predicting the high was going to be right here today. You see that's within about 10 minutes of the exact high, and this is short covering, so that means we have a bearish bias coming down on this during the time. Now, The one thing this thing didn't do was it never gave you price. It only told you where the key points of the day were going to be turning. So now you can see we have a downward bias here. So if you're looking at it from a day trade standpoint, what you want to do is watch for your first, because you have a strong trending trend day down. First thing you'd want to do is to go up and mark it down and find out where your first 382 retracement would be. Now, when you're working in front of your computer like I am today, folks, you have a job much like if you were an air traffic controller or anything else. You have certain rules that you have to follow, and you've got some ideas that you think will work. But remember, it's all based on how much you have to risk at any particular time, and that's it. If you stick to just ABCD patterns during the day, you have a big advantage. You add to that the opening price, you got another advantage. So, you try to build those little things together, and that gives you a really good chance of seeing, where these things are supposed to be moving at the same time. And that's all I'm doing is when I'm doing this now is I send these out and to let people know that this is where we're looking for the time to change. Now, how you enter the market is, I look at this RSI. I got this from Teresa West, but you can see here when this RSI turned down right here, it was turning down one bar after the high. That's not a bad place to sell it right there. Because look, from 44, you've already made 20 handles. And your risk was very, very small at that point. So that's what it's all about. And we'll look at a few of these because, I've been exposed to this. This is the one for wheat. You can see now we're still here. We're still in the wheat. It now has a profit. Your stop is at break even, 290, 529. If you get out at 529, you've not lost any money, and that's a good thing. You might not have made anything, but you didn't lose anything, and that's the key. Okay, now what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the gold market. Just get this over here, because this was a really nice one to look at this morning. I've already went through the patterns here, but if we look at this on the AI section, you'll see it had a bearish bias. Okay, now, if you notice here, you don't have a really strong trending down here, but you do have an ABCD pattern right here. You see, there's your ABCD. There's right near the open. There it is, 9 o'clock. There's your ABCD pattern. Now you've come down, and you've had a pretty good move to the downside. You were scheduled to have a little bounce in here, and all you want to do is see what the overnight high was, which was up here. That was the big 382 retracement on the bigger number. 50%. We go right up to the 382, and this is we're trading right at it right now at 05. So this says it should be trending down, but again, you have parameters that you work by, because if it goes above this level right here, your stop has to be above here. So you're only talking about an $8 stop here in gold when it's trading for 30, it's trading for 3,305. So that's it. Now on a pattern basis, what I would be waiting for is I want to go to a little bit longer time frame so I can see the whole thing, and this is this part right here. Okay, now as you can see, there's the ABCD. This is where the ABC, this is where the cover was. In other words, cover your short from right back here, because there was the big ABCD overnight. You'll see it right there. There it is right there. I did this in the video last night. I said, look, to sell it here at this 32. Well, actually, we're in gold. We're in the August gold now at 33.48, and we covered it down here at 33.40. We covered it at 24. So we made 24 on that. But then you can see we had the little rally right here, and that also gave you the ABCD pattern that is right here. Okay. Now remember, folks, a lot of times these ABCDs don't work. Let me show you this one right here. Here's one that works perfectly right there, really good one. Another one that works really good one. Here's one that took off. Now watch. You're looking for this to stop right there. Okay. Now look how this is coming out of here. You see that? You don't want to, yeah, sure, it goes up a little bit and then backed off, but this is really tough. See, on this one right here, you're first of all, you're moving pretty quickly, and you're moving up towards the ABCD pattern at the 50% level, so you don't want to sell that one, because there's your target to sell. See, the number was 33.25, got to 33.2450 in the June. The August made it. The August made it at 49. So that's why you got the big difference. So here's what we're looking at as we look at these intraday. And that's what I'm looking at because I'm watching smaller patterns. And listen, you can trade this. I think it's $15,000 is the margin on this. And you're trading $300,000, $330,000 in gold for a margin of $15,000. Now, if you trade $300,000 in stocks, most of them are going to charge you 50% margin. So you don't get the same kind of leverage as you do with the futures, and that's why I look at futures and Forex and stuff like that, because you have good leverage. The electronic stuff makes it real easy and things like that. But that's what I'm watching here. So let's take a look here how we're doing with the time. We've got 49 seconds. Let's take a look at Tesla, because yesterday was one that we were watching that I thought Tesla was going to be a sale at 52, and it went through 52 like Grant went through Richmond. Hold on one second, and we'll see here. There we go. Well, you can see what happened here. There was where we were yesterday. Let's blow this up so you can see it's still going up today, it looks like. Yep. And there's where we are. All right, let's take a little break, and we'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, folks, Larry Pesavento sitting in for Basil Chapman. I'm going to spend some time here going over the MAGA stocks because I don't do this, and Basil's specialty is stocks, and he adds so much to the analysis of this stuff. I'm just going to look at it on a pattern basis. This is a 4-hour chart going back since January. As you can see, Apple has got some problems. As we all know, just by watching, you can see today's high today is probably exactly 382 off of the other high that was right back here. Let's just check it. Yeah, there it is. That doesn't mean much because it's real early. But as we go through some of these, we already know NVIDIA looks like the monster in the house. And we'll look at this again. Here it is. For NVIDIA, it certainly looks like it wants to go higher. Our high back was way back here. Let's get that out of the way. Hold on. Get this, change that out. There was the high. Oh, shucks. Hold on just a minute, folks. I got to move this around. There was the high way back here in January. Okay, then remember that ABCD when it got to 155 that day? We were talking to that dude over in Beverly Hills, and he went up and right there, and then boom, down it came all the way. Look at the ABCDs all the way down. Misses the exact low by $2, and now we're rallying back, and we're already at 131, and that's extending this out by 1.27. So all it's done so far, if we just go back and look at the high, way back here was 155. We're probably setting right at the very close 78% level. So my guess is, even if the news is really bullish today, I don't think it's going to get much above this level right here. And believe me, folks, that's a stretch of the imagination. And the only way you should trade this is you either have to have really strong conviction that it's going to go down, or you have to go to the puts and call market. And as we know, those premiums are, totally out of sight. So you got to give up so much. They're already building in $10. So this thing's got to go better, higher than 155. It's got to go better 145 just to make up your premium. So that's not a very good buy, in my opinion, or sell. Okay, now Tesla, we've already looked at that, and it's still trading up here at 63, stuff like that. And then this one is Amazon. This one's also been hit pretty hard. These are 4-hour charts because you can see 6 or 7 weeks here, months as you're looking at it. Now you can see here we're up today. There was the 382. This is where the earnings came out. Okay, and whoops, so there where it went, and now we're right here. Right now we're still up on the day, so it's still very, very positive with Amazon. But we had a 3 drive to a top pattern right back here, just perfect symmetry from high to high to high. And in order to have those 3 drive patterns, you need that symmetry or be really, really close. Otherwise, it's not going to be as perfect as you want it to be. So it's got to be really within a day or two of where that thing is supposed to be, and also it's got to hit one of these numbers like 1.618. And when you see that, you can see it's taking this distance right here and measuring it to get to that 1.618 number right here. Now you notice this one here went way above 1.618. Well, it should have. You see all the gaps in here? We only had one gap in here. Look, there's 2 big gaps here. That's telling you we're going to go a lot higher. And then there was also, there was another pattern right in here, and I haven't looked at this in a very long time. But that was giving you your high right there. There's your 3 drive, and now we're in a downtrend, and we'll see what's going to happen with this as we go through. Okay, the next one this has been the strongest, folks. This is Microsoft. I believe, I'm not sure whether you've made new highs or not. because the high we had back here was at 467, and today's high has been 462. So we're only 3 points high to make a new high on Microsoft today. That's a really big deal. This is a heck of a move up to the upside. I don't remember, since I don't recall. Let's just see if this. I can tell you it's 50% just by eyeballing it. There's your high. There's your low. Comes in almost exactly at the 50%, and then woof, this would be no problem to make new highs in this, folks. Maybe we're going to make new highs in all the stocks. Certainly possible. That's all I can say. Now, this is Broadcom. Now, take a look. This is another one that's extremely strong. Look at all the gaps we had. 1, 2, 3 big gaps on this on the way up. Was higher early this morning. Well, it's still up on the day, but it's near all-time highs. It's very, very close to all-time highs. Look at this. Look at this volume, folks. Look how the volume is dying. That's a sign that it looks like the people are getting a little nervous in here, would be my guess. There's not many people wanting to get into this, but the volume has really been dropping. So I don't know. I don't do stocks, so I shouldn't say too much. This is the one that I thought was going to be the best of them all. This is the weekly Head and Shoulders. It's still valid. Yep, it's still valid because there we get it right here. Let me get this thing set here. There's your left shoulder, okay? Here's your right shoulder right over here. And the left shoulder, you see it's still, this is higher right here. This is lower, so this is still a Head and Shoulders pattern. It was due to come in last week, so it's still close, but it's got as high as 77 and it's trading at 73. I tried it here for 3 points. Paper trade, and we went in at 69, got out at went in at 70, and it's 4 points or something. Anyway, I'm still looking at this as a potential, but you really, in order for it to really validate it, you should get a down close. In other words, if the market makes this shoulder pattern and then closes lower, which it has not as yet, and this is a weekly, then that would be the signal. That comes right out of Andrew Lowe's book when he did all these massive formulas that look like you're, heading on a spaceship somewhere. It's all really heavy mathematics equations and way over this cowboy. After you get past addition and subtraction, boy, I'll tell you, that's my 3 hardest grades in college or high school. In grammar school was the 3 years I was in the 5th grade. Anyway, now let's take a look at a couple others here. Now this is SMCI, the Super Microcomputers. This used to be a really high flyer. If you remember, it was as high as 130, came down to 20, and now we're trading at 41. And this is a Head and Shoulders pattern too, folks. There you can see it right now. I must have got ready to draw this because there's your left shoulder right here. And there's your head right here. Okay. Now let's see if we have any symmetry that would line this up. Oh, that's coming in pretty close. No, it's off by, it looks like 3 or 4 days, but it's held. So this shoulder right here was lower than this shoulder, and this closed lower, so that is a Head and Shoulder sell signal. And that would have been around 45 or something, because there's your left shoulder. Your right shoulder is lower, and the symmetry is pretty good. Hey, we're going to take a little break. 877-927-6648.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, folks. Larry Pesavento sitting in for Basil Chapman. Now, we were out break even now on our wheat, folks. We bought it at 29 yesterday, and we're out at 29. At the end of this show, I'll be looking to be buying the wheat again. And what I'll be doing is I'll probably be buying it on a new low here. Am I risking about 4 cents? Because from there, the rest of the day, for the rest of 2.5 hours, I have a positive bias. If I'd have been on the show earlier, I certainly would have been looking to take profits up in here, but I didn't have that opportunity. So, but I'll be watching this one here as a buy right in here. I'm very, very friendly in the wheat. You remember we bought this on the big pattern on the downside, and it's had really nice, well, this is that volatility stop. Let me take that out of there because it's not a factor in anything that I look at. But remember, we bought that on this 3 drive to a bottom pattern that worked out beautifully. We sold it right up in here, and I'm buying it back right about here. Since we're looking at this, let's just see what the 61% retracement is on this one right here. And there it is at 25. If I can buy it today at 25, in the next 20 or 30 minutes, I would like to be a buyer. There's yesterday's low, which was at 27.5. So if I could get it at 5.25 in the next half hour, I would really like that, because there's your drive 1, drive 2, drive 3, and here's where you'd be looking to be a buyer here. We're down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, so we're getting ready to look to be a buyer. Now, what we're doing is we are buying the December wheat because that's a new crop wheat. So let's get this up here and put this up on an hourly basis so you can see it. So, there you can see. We're going to take this out by just a little bit. All right, see, there's the big ABCD up here. That's where we're taking profits. We bought it right here at 73, and we put our stop below here because we made 23 cents on this, folks, which was well over $1,100. So we're going to be risking 500 of it here because there's the low from yesterday. There's our lows today. I'd like to see it take this out by just a little bit, and then I want to be a buyer of it. Now, it's only out 4 cents, so you're still $900 ahead in this, so it's not a big deal. But I think it's got a chance, and that's my opinion, of course. But that's why I'm looking at trying to make the losses acceptable. That's really what I'm trying to do, and add it all together, and that'll give us a shot of what we're looking at here with the wheat. Okay, now we'll get back up here and see the S&P just cascaded down without any type of a retracement at all. Same thing here in the Dow Jones. I received a text here from in Teams while we were on the air to take a look at the long-term daily, because there was a number up there, that 40,025, and I might have missed it. Let's just double check here. There it is right here. Now this is the daily chart of the June. So let me do this. Let's just go to a 4-hour. Is that the 786 exactly today? Well, it hit 425.10. Yeah, here it is. It went right up. It took out the high. Wow. It took out the highs of yesterday by 10 cents. And look, it's reversed 20. It's already reversed 200 Dow points. Yeah, from 25 to 23. Took this out by just a little bit. And now we got to change this because that's done. Because what we're looking at is this right here. That's what we're watching. See? We're watching taking out that previous high by just a little bit. In reverse, we've almost reversed the last 2 days' actions. If we get below 422, that's going to reverse everything for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. That would be one heck of a reversal pattern. Remember, this has been really strong here. It's really hasn't hardly backed off at all. So that's why we're watching it, relatively closely today. That was a pretty good nip there at 425.10. Okay, move that out of the way here. And what else were we watching here? The gold, let's see how it's doing. Still should be moving to the downside. Let's get this up and see if it's still following what it's supposed to be doing. Yep, it's starting to keep moving it down. And all this is doing, folks, is you're seeing lower highs, okay? You got lower bottoms. It's still in a downtrend. It should be down the rest of the day. That's really, what you should be looking for. Watch this key spot of the day, which will be right about the time my show comes on, and we'll watch that one very, very carefully. There's another one right here that is not easy to trade today because it's so volatile, and that here's the natural gas, because we had some tremendous moves here yesterday. We had this one. We had a perfect 382 here yesterday that yielded well over $800. And then, of course, the market went up. Didn't make it today, but then it made this level here today. Now, you see, this was the early morning high. And when you're looking at a half-hour chart, you got to go back and review, because there's your ABCD on this move right here. And then you have another ABCD that's come in here, because you've got a lower high, a lower low, then you got this level here, and you bring that one into right here, but you see it doesn't quite reach it. It misses it by 85, misses it by 200 points, and then it's just straight down since that time. So all you can say is, as you're looking at this, it's just gone up to these highs. Been massive resistance up here at this level right here the last few days, 182. See, you took out the previous day's high by $2. You didn't go anywhere, and then boom, straight down. So that's it. And this looks like we're going lower. So let's find out if there's going to be a bottoming process in here that we might be able to look at. So we'll look at the hourly chart. There's the whole thing. So we're looking today to be a seller here at 385. We got the 383.50. Okay. Now we have to see what the bottom is going to look like. So if you go from this high up to this high right here, the bottom should be coming in here at 59, which should be some stops right there. Should be watching that. And then what we want to do, with just a few minutes to go, I have to switch over, and I want to look at the natural gas on the artificial intelligence program to see if it tells me that there's going to be something there. And here is the picture of it. All I got to do now is to plug it in and see where we are. Oh, this thing has been, well, there was an early morning high, and look at this. This thing has gone ballistic, so it's really difficult now. Even if you invert this, and I think it's going to be really hard to do. Let's get this out of the way here, and we'll get to see the mirror image of this program. and you'll see it's got a long ways to go to the downside. It doesn't really catch this high at all. There was nothing here. There's nothing here. This is a day where it's just not following. So you do one thing. You move this arrow all the way over here and say goodbye, and you forget natural gas for the day. Now, you can still watch this, but you don't use the artificial intelligence with it because it's missed a day. What this thing does is it goes back and finds patterns that repeat over and over, and then it moves them into the future, saying there's a probability this is going to happen again. And when it doesn't happen, guess what? You move on. That's pretty much it. So hopefully we're keeping that in mind as we look at these things unfold here so far this morning. Okay, that's what we're looking at so far today. Let me see. Someone's got a request on a stock. Hold on, I'll bring it up. And that is our good friend from the old Caterpillar. Get it up here. This should be going really strong, folks, because sales of these tractors and stuff have been pretty good from what I understand from the old farming buddies back in Indiana. Let's get the daily up here, and we'll be right back, folks. Stay with us.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, reversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, setting in for Basil Chapman. This is Larry Pesavento. And we're going to be looking here at Caterpillar. As you can see here, we've got a head and shoulders pattern set up. That's going to be here just about the first week in June. There's your left shoulder. There's your right shoulder. It's lower, just exactly. The symmetry is really good. If we put in the ratios here, you'll be able to see that we're going to be probably banging up really close. We're setting right at the 50% level. So watch this level right in here. There's your 78% level. So that's still close. As long as it doesn't get above 383, it's going to be, and that's $33 higher, it's going to be a head and shoulders pattern, which gives you some downward bias. Now, you can notice as you watch this, there is your bottom right here on April 7th, which was the big bottom of the whole world. You'll see you draw it from your AB pattern right here, and there's your CD pattern, comes in there, hits it just about exactly on the number. 61 was the number, and the low was 63, so that's pretty close. So watch this number here between 360 and 386 here in the Caterpillar for potential long-term sell. That's what I would be paying attention to. Regarding the U.S. dollar, it's held up pretty well, folks. The euro is still backing off, as you can see, keeps going down. Today's high was just about a perfect 382 of the high that we made yesterday. You'll be able to see that as you draw this in. There it is again, right there. If you want to trade something easy, folks, this is the one to trade. It just follows these patterns. It's really good. There's a beautiful ABCD right here at the 382. Was the last night, but that's what you're looking for, and it makes it really, this is the most actively traded thing in the world, folks. Nothing can touch it. All right, we'll see you on the flip side tomorrow and make 1 o'clock. We'll see you later, folks. May God bless.